All right, so Last of Us Day is coming quickly upon us. It's tomorrow, and so I wanted to do some predictions of what I think we'll for sure see, some things that I think are maybe stretches but are possibilities, and some things I think are far stretches that I hope would happen but might not happen. Of course, we had that state of play yesterday. It was okay. There were some big announcements, but the way that state of play went kind of dampened my expectations. The last couple of years of The Last of Us Day have been, to be honest, disappointing to say the least. But this year, I know for sure it's going to be a bit better, especially than last year, where we got essentially nothing other than, hey, Factions is happening. Oh, just kidding, Factions is being canceled. Sorry, you promised this for 10 years, and now Factions community, you get nothing. Oh, isn't that wonderful? And so I know that we're going to get more than that. And so I wanted to dive into it with you guys and tell you what I think we're going to be seeing, what I hope maybe we will see, and what is a long stretch, but I would be very thrilled if they announced some of these other things. So let's dive into my thoughts on what we're going to be seeing tomorrow. So first off, let's get the for sure's out of the way. These are like 99% chances of happening, and I would be absolutely floored and, to be honest, furious if they didn't do these things, because it'd be like, well, what are you guys doing as a company? The first thing is merch. Every single Last of Us Day, they have merch. They have figures, they have t-shirts, they have replicas of things from the game that you can purchase, that you can buy. And so if that's something that excites you, that is for sure happening. That I would be shocked, because they do it every single year, if it didn't happen. So that's a for sure. Another thing, in my opinion, that's a for sure, is that Last of Us Season 2 trailer that we got, that little teaser from HBO a couple weeks back, and this thing is releasing in January. And so, yep, now is the time that you release a trailer for that series, especially now that The Penguin is out. That was kind of their next big flagship series for HBO, and so now it's like, okay, start advertising The Last of Us Season 2. And so I think that we'll see that. That makes a lot of sense to me. I would be shocked if we didn't see it, and to be honest, would be pretty heavily disappointed, because it doesn't make any sense. And also, I have insiders who actually work on this show, and I can say from what I've been hearing, Season 2 is really incredible, that the people working on it, and of course take it with a grain of salt, they're working on it, but are saying it looks so good. And the thing that they defined it as is intense. That Season 2 is intense, and they said really intense. And they're people who haven't really played the game, and so them working on it, they're just like, holy cow, this is a heavy series. And of course, in working on it, they've done research on the game, and they're like, yeah, it's faithful, it's good. They do new takes on some things, but it's really, really well done. So that's exciting. And so I hope we get a trailer, so that way we can see, hey, what are they covering? We know that Neil said that part 2 is going to take place over 3 seasons. So what are they going to cover in the season 1? Is it going to be mostly Ellie's first day? Are they going to show us lots of those Joel flashbacks? How much of Joel are we going to get? We'll be able to kind of get a guess of that from that trailer. And so I'm looking forward to that. Now we're heading into the maybes. These are the things that I'm hoping they announce, but I'm not holding my breath. I would say it's a 50-50 chance that these things get announced. That's what I would place on it. 50-50. And the first one is The Last of Us Part 2 coming to PC. We know that has been done for months. We know that they are finished on it, and that they're just sitting around waiting essentially to announce its release for it to come along around the same time as Season 2. So I'd imagine a December release. And so it would make sense right now for them to say, hey guys, just to let you know, Last of Us Part 2 Remastered is coming to PC. I could see them announcing that here, but I also wouldn't be shocked if they didn't announce it and they just kept holding on to it for later. But I'm like, there's not really a better time other than maybe the Game Awards to announce that. So my guess is that it'll probably be announced here, and if it's not announced here, it'll probably be announced at the Game Awards. The second thing that I think is a 50-50 chance we'll see is an update to No Return. I know that we'll probably most likely get updates to the cosmetics as far as like new skins for characters and things like that, but I'm talking a bigger update. Something like new maps, like maybe 1 or 2 new locations that you can play through would be really cool, or one or two new characters. Naughty Dog said they're paying attention to what the fans want, and fans have been begging for new maps and new characters, and that was what they were responding to. And so my hope is that they've actually been listening, didn't just say, oh, we're listening to what fans want, and then that was their way of saying, I don't know, why even bother saying that? So my hope would be that we see some new maps. It would be cool to see some new locations, but also those new characters, whether it's bringing in some Part 1 characters. It would be sweet to play as Bill or Tess or Sam. Like, that would be really cool. Or to bring in some of those characters who are weirdly left out of No Return, like Owen. Like, bring in Owen. I don't know, how did he get scrapped, but we got Mel. That's what I that's what I want to know, is whose decision was that. But I think there is a good chance that we do get an update to No Return. But again, 50-50. Would I be shocked if they did it? Nope. I would be like, yep, that makes sense. Way to go. That gets me excited. Would I be shocked if they didn't do it? No, because Naughty Dog has been not doing much as of late other than disappointing us. Now into the stretches. These are the things that I think have a 10 to 20% chance of happening. They have a chance, but it's a low chance. I wouldn't put my money on it, but I would be very happy if they did announce these things. The first one is some form of Factions update. We know that what they were making into that faction sequel is dead, but they have said that they're going to take the stuff they learned to work on new projects in the future. My hope in that sentence would be that they throw the Factions community a bone, that community is still going strong. If you play Factions today, there are so many people playing that game. I play it almost daily. I love Factions, and for that community to be promised to be getting a sequel since the announcement of part 2, so we're talking like 10 years ago, and for you to throw that away is kind of frustrating. And so I could see them wanting to throw that community a bone. I know that they actually do care about that community. They didn't put all that effort into Factions for no reason. And so to see them release a DLC update to something like part 1, which I think is the most likely scenario, would be really cool. They could always introduce a multiplayer mode to No Return. I just think that that's less likely and would take more rewiring to work on how No Return works for that to work. That could be cool. But what I could see them doing is, because The Last of Us Part 1 is supposed to be a remake of that first game, there's now one clear glaring omission from that remake where they have the DLC, they have the original game, they have all these extra features, but what they're missing is that Factions. And so I could see them remaking that Factions. That wouldn't be a huge ask. It would be something that we know that they like to do with their new employees, is to get them to remake old games so they learn the system. And it would be really sweet if they were holding on to those new employees working on that Factions update, because it wouldn't be a big job for them to get those employees to do. And that they could be like, hey, we're releasing Factions total remake for part 1. We're going to charge $20 for it if you want that DLC. All those old maps are there, and now it just has those new improvements of life and the new character models and the new movement, and that would be really great. And as a Factions fan, I would be like, oh, sweet. Okay, like, you did something. I would feel really good. Again, I hope for it. Is it going to happen? It's probably unlikely, but one can dream. Another thing that might be happening that we could maybe see is that Tommy DLC get announced. We know for a fact they were actually legit working on it. Neil Druckmann confirmed that they were, and they canceled it due to, well, he didn't say cancel. He said put it on the shelf for the moment, so they could work on crunch. Of course, we know they solved the crunch issue, and so it'd be really cool if they were secretly working on it all this time. And again, it wouldn't be a big DLC. It would be like a Left Behind DLC, but it would be a glimpse into Tommy's 3 days that you could release as like a $20 DLC for the part 2 remaster. I think that would be incredible. That would make fans incredibly excited, especially with them probably exploring that in season 2, 3, and 4 of The Last of Us TV show. You'd think, hey, this might be a good time to cash in on this thing, to actually release our version of it before HBO's version. Let's do it. Do I think it's going to happen? Probably not. Would I be thrilled if they announced it? Yes, I would. And lastly, and out of all of these stretch things that I would maybe see, this is the one I think that's actually the most likely, and that is some kind of part 3 announcement. Now, are we going to get a teaser trailer? Nope. Are we going to get a full-on trailer? Nope. But what we could get, and what I could see them doing, is because so many people are questioning what's going on with Naughty Dog right now, is just for them to announce, hey, like just a little title screen, Last of Us Part 3 now in development. That's all we would need to know. And if they were to do that, people would be thrilled that it would take this Last of Us Day from probably a mediocre Last of Us Day to an extremely excellent Last of Us Day. For them just to officially say, we're developing this game, would go a long way. I know that we know they're developing it all of the insiders say, yep, Naughty Dog's working on The Last of Us Part 3. They have been for several years now. And Neil like kind of winked at it during the Grounded 2 documentary. But for them to just come out and officially say, yep, we're now developing The Last of Us Part 3, that's all they'd have to say. And people would be excited. I could see them doing that. But again, I thought they would maybe do that at the State of Play. And so because they didn't do that there, I'm like, are they really going to do it on a Last of Us Day? It's possible. It would be sweet. But I wouldn't hold my breath. But I also wouldn't be absolutely shocked if they did just announce that it is in development. So with that being said, those are my thoughts. I would love to hear what you're looking forward to. Are you looking forward to the merch? Are you looking forward to that Season 2 trailer? What do you think we're going to see? What are the stretch things that you're hoping for? Do you think we could see some update to No Return? Do you think it's possible we could get a Factions update of some sort, some Tommy DLC, a Part 3 announcement? Let me know in the comment section down below the things you're looking forward to. Like, comment, subscribe, all that junk. And I will see you guys tomorrow on Last of Us Day.